All right, well, welcome. I'm Bryan. Got Spencer here. We're broadcasting or recording live from live
Live from the bedroom.
live from Spencer's bedroom. We got a nice setup here. Thank you to him, to you,
Lots of foam.
my friend. Yeah, you should see the foam in here.
It's foam everywhere.
Got some handmade. We got some legit stuff, and then we got some handmade stuff to help with the sound. But that's not just for this podcast. It's also for recording our a band we're in called Rejected Takeoff.
Is it a band? I mean, there's just the two of us.
It's
What
the two of us.
constitutes a band?
I don't know. I mean, Scotty's got a band, Metaphors, that's just him, and he calls it a band.
But do you think he does that? Because he doesn't tell anybody it's just him.
You're right.
It's just like his quote unquote band.
You're right. No, I think he likes to use that word to make people think that it's
it's a band.
right. And no disrespect to Scotty.
No,
Yeah.
it's fine. I'm just saying.
Yeah. No, you're right. So maybe a duo.
Sure.
I mean, hopefully soon to be a band if we can get some people together that actually want to.
Did I told you I talked to Scotty, right? Not that this has relevance to what we're talking about, but
No.
I did talk to Brent and Scotty in there. I just need to send him tracks with.
Oh, Brent.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that'll be exciting.
Yeah.
Brent has played in multiple groups with both of us.
That's true.
And he's an excellent bass player.
Bassist? I don't know.
Just an all-around smart and good guy. I haven't seen Brent in a long time, though, but it wouldn't,
He's gotten fat. I just saw a picture the other day, and I was like,
he would probably think the same thing about me.
well,
Both of us probably gained a good 40 pounds since we've seen each other.
actually, that's not completely false. I have gained some weight.
Oh, I'm talking me and Brent.
No.
I mean,
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. And he's still holding on to his hair. It's probably time to just...
He won't.
Time to move on.
He won't make the move. You made the move years ago.
Well, it was an accident. I just...
You shaved it and never didn't come back.
I never grew back. It was just an experiment.
Oh,
Just
shoot.
one day I was like, I'm going to cut my hair, and then I did, and it just never came back.
I remember we played in a band together years ago, and I had really long hair,
That's true.
and I shaved it for a friend of ours who had cancer.
Oh,
And I came to band practice, and Spencer, you were really upset because you wanted to be the only shorn member of the band.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
lots of rock stars have long hair too, so it felt.
It was really hard to cut it off,
It's
I
like-
will say.
It's like one or the other: long hair or no hair for rock stars, right?
Yeah, it was hard. I mean, my hair grows really slow. It's, curly. I'm a ginger. So it takes forever. And so it was hard to cut it off, but not as hard as having cancer, so I was glad to do it. So yeah. Yeah. Anyway, the point is that Spencer was mad about that. I am starting to lose a little spot in the back.
Oh, that sucks.
So I hope that you can be honest with me when the time comes, that you could just say, hey, man.
Your dad doesn't. He still has all his hair.
He does.
Doesn't
Yeah, on that side of the family, my dad's dad, who's passed on, he was my opa. He was Dutch. He had a full head,
Oh, there you go.
all the way till the end. It was white.
Oh,
And I was hoping to get that. I was hoping to get like the full head, white hair. But then on my mom's side, her brother was bald at like 23.
oh well, you're past that.
Yeah,
So
her dad was bald. Pretty young. So I made it past that the normal age.
right,
But yeah. So
hair.
yeah, that's who we are.
And that's what we're gonna be talking about.
Yeah, we'll talk
hair,
about
and
I mean, full disclosure, I have used some Rogaine.
really,
Yeah, on this back spot. I mean, I'm not
no,
one to.
I probably would have done that in before I shaved had I realized.
I saw a commercial for a club. Tell me if you've seen this. It's like a hair growth, but
Hair club for men?
is it hair club? It's
That's
something
been around
like
forever.
to like curb the onslaught.
Onslaught. The onslaught of
Yeah.
male pattern bottledness.
So it's like a club you sign up for. They send you stuff monthly to put in your hair, pills to take. Probably some like folic acid or something. Anyways, but I just ordered some Rogaine off of Amazon and I got the mousse stuff now, but just for this one little spot, in the back, the crown.
Yeah.
So, but
Ooh. Get hair plugs.
I know the wife tells me that it works.
Well,
but I don't know.
she's the only one that really matters, I guess.
Yeah, it's in the back, so who,
I could wear a wig.
who cares, you know?
Yeah.
Uh,
No one sees you from the back.
well, what about you? Where did so Spencer is not completely bald, but he shaves his head completely bald.
Yeah, I don't use an actual razor though. I don't like it when it's
You just do an electric like zzz.
yeah, just with no guard. I did it today cuz it was terribly long. I was starting to look like my dad. I don't know. Like, you know, you know the look.
Yes, yeah.
George Costanza.
Kind of the
That's what
horseshoe.
it is right there.
Yeah.
This guy.
So you do you just do a zero
Yeah.
and just
Yeah.
for it.
I need to do it more often, but
When you use a blade, is it itchy? Like
I've only actually done it twice. The first time I did it, I used a blade, and then I did it once last year, and I don't remember it being itchy.
you just don't like to do it?
Yeah, it just feels weird. I don't like it just feels weird.
Hmm.
And the first time I did it, I shaved my head completely with a razor, and then I went to Warped Tour the next day, and I did not wear a hat
Ooh.
or really put on
no.
sunscreen. And in the past, that probably wouldn't have been an issue because I had hair.
Yeah.
But I sunburnt like something. I actually think that afterwards it was so peely and deformed looking that I might have looked like something out of Star Trek. It was pretty horrendous.
You got like a leper thing
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah.
And that's the worst. Well, there are certain places on the body that it's the worst to get sunburnt. My opinion would be the tops of your feet,
No, yeah, that does suck.
your knees, depending on, if you're wearing pants. But
Right.
then the top of the head, you can't take a nice shower
No.
anymore. You got to wait,
Mm-hmm.
That's
true.
Tops of feet, though. If you see me at the beach, first of all, I'm a redhead, but I do tan. But if you see me there, chances are I will be lubing up my feet more than anything, because that is the worst to put socks on.
Mostly because of your foot fetish, but
Yeah,
but yeah.
Yeah, I keep them lathered for other personal reasons, but yeah, man,
Cool.
yeah. So that's hair,
There's that lull.
Yeah, we were talking about lulls, So Spencer, I know you really wanted to talk about this. Judge the Honorable Brett M. Kavanaugh.
Is that his middle name? M?
That's his middle initial. Maybe it's just an M. I don't know. Mary.
Michael. I don't know.
Just confirmed yesterday
That's true.
after
Months.
quite the storm.
Was it 3 months since he's been nominated? I think it was July 7th.
Yeah, July and change. Yeah, but I know you had some opinions, so
Well, so here's my thing: is I'm not that opinionated in general, and most of the time, it's more that I just don't know what I should think, or that I can see both sides of the argument pretty clearly, and it makes it where I don't know where I really stand, I guess.
Well, we are in a time where I know. Listen, the country's been in a place like this before.
Yeah,
right?
I've heard
So it's
that.
not like this is new, but it is new to maybe a younger generation.
Yeah.
To not know where to stand, because it feels like no matter what, the opposing group is wrong, and that's not the case. That's not always the case.
Right.
Both parties can be right, and both parties can be wrong. And so, but yeah, we do live in a time where, if you're opposed to something or in favor of something, chances are you will feel wrong, or what am I trying to say? Like the perception of you, you know what I mean?
Well-
Like you think that people will think you're wrong.
Right. Oh, that's true. It's been weird for me lately because I guess I can actually feel the dividedness of the country more than I thought I could. Like I went to a concert, a Three Doors Down concert.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, like a month ago, and I've always liked them. I grew up in Texas, and they're more of a Southern band. I would say that they're probably, I don't know them personally at all, of course, by any means, but I would say they're probably more right-leaning people, and which is fine. But I was there, and there were lots of people there that, for whatever reason, made me uncomfortable, which I don't really know why.
They made like being around them made you feel uncomfortable.
I guess. Not that they were bad people. I don't know. I just felt like.
Well, and we should establish this too. First of all, I am very left-leaning. I am a registered Democrat. I don't know about you, but we should establish why they made you feel maybe that way. Is it because you lean a little left and they're, I mean, they played at Trump's inauguration, right?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
But see, that doesn't really bother me. I know it bothered a lot of people, and I'm sure they lost some fans because of it, or maybe not. I don't know.
I don't view that as a bad thing. It's just a celebration of patriotism.
And in fairness to them as well, I mean, although there was plenty of dirt on Trump before, I don't think anyone knew the extent of
the lies hadn't.
What we were all still kind of like, I don't know, maybe it'll turn out okay. And honestly, I know when the election happened that everyone was the right was, well, I don't know. I wouldn't say that the right was thrilled. Not the far right was, but
like in terms of Trump.
Yeah, in terms of being excited,
they tried to get rid of him.
Yeah,
before the
like
primaries.
the actual normal Republicans were kind of like,
yeah.
And I just thought it was funny. I just honestly thought, wow, this is hilarious. I can't believe this happened. Like, no one saw this coming. No one saw him getting the nomination. And sure as hell, no one thought he would win at all.
The only person who said he would was Michael Moore on Real Time with Bill Maher. Like
really? I didn't know that.
Like right after he announced his candidacy, Michael Moore was on Real Time and said he's going to win. And everybody booed and was laughing at him, even Bill. And then Bill jumped on. He's like, dude, he might actually win, you know? But, there was no, you're right, though, to give them credit. There was not even a Sean Spicer yet.
That's true.
When they played for his inauguration. But
I mean, even people like Dave Chappelle, if you remember, because, the media, or not the media so much as, well, I don't know, the entertainment industry is definitely a left-sided industry. I don't think anyone could argue that. But they came out, of course, hard, like they always do typically, against him. But then, if you remember, Dave Chappelle was like, hey, let's give this guy a chance. Maybe he'll surprise us. I mean, there was still that kind of
yeah, that was his SNL opener, right?
Yeah, it was.
That was a moving speech.
Yeah,
and I saw an interview with him afterwards where he doesn't regret it and he believed it. But,
yeah.
So I want to come back to the media, but I want you to talk about the concert and what the.
Oh yeah, and they were just I don't know. I've just lost my roots or something, and I don't really know why I felt uncomfortable. It wasn't like I'm scared or something. It was just like, I bet I don't have anything in common with these people.
Yeah.
I guess would be more the feeling. Maybe not uncomfortable so much, because it's not like I was afraid to talk to them or anything if I needed to. But, it was at, the concert was at a rodeo arena, it was at the state fair. So it was, the crowd there was cowboy-esque, I guess you could say. I don't know.
Right, which stereotypically would support.
Yeah, and I don't know what's in these people's hearts and what they really think, but I just felt like that I might not be able to relate to these people as much as other people. But and I think that's just me, because I've been in places where people are super far left, and I don't feel comfortable there either.
Well, you're probably you fit into the mold of most Americans, I think, which are most people are moderate.
Right, that's one thing that really has been bothering me the past few elections, is it does seem that the majority of the Americans are moderate, or maybe fiscally conservative and socially left, liberal, or something to that extent.
Yeah.
So why is it that there's still these two parties? Why? That really drives me crazy.
I know. I read a lot about the parties and Jefferson and where they started. Our last independent president.
I didn't know we even had one.
George Washington.
Oh, that makes sense.
Last independent. He hated the party system.
Actually, yeah, they were talking about that on the radio show I listened to the other day. How he warned us against what's happening, essentially.
If you read his farewell address, he bashed the party system that Jefferson and Adams were pushing, and Madison people. There's always opposition.
I know.
During Washington's time, we had just come out of the revolution. We kind of needed we were on the same team. It was like post 9/11,
I know.
right? We're all on the
That's-
same team, and then as things start to get a little more tranquil, we have to start opposing each other, and it usually starts with some stupid policy, right? Like a simple idea that someone disagrees with, and then that just spirals out of control. And so and then you get like the Sean Hannitys of the world, Rachel Maddow's, where it's like you either agree fully with me, or you can go die.
Right.
You know?
And this is that's what we've lost, like the gray area or something. And
Right.
I don't like that. Like it,
Right.
there's points to both sides that are probably pretty decent, but for some reason it's all or nothing.
Yeah, we probably agree on most of the same stuff.
Right.
You know, I mean, yeah, if you're going to talk about abortion and gay rights and drugs, okay, those are big issues that are probably never ever going to be finished.
Probably not. No.
So let's talk about more normal stuff. But yeah, you're right. But I do like what you said though. You know, you don't know what's in those people's hearts.
Yeah.
And none of us do, you know.
No.
So, and that's what we always do though. If someone who disagrees with us, we think automatically that they're evil.
Yeah.
You know, they're wrong.
I don't like that at all. And like my dad's definitely he's very right, I would say. I haven't really talked to him about much because I don't care to, but
Yeah.
my mom is right, but I don't think she really knows why.
Yeah. And we should mention we are in Utah.
Yeah.
So, you know, this is a state where it's very, very red.
Right.
And I don't think most people know why either.
Yeah.
You know,
it's yeah.
But anyways, so you moved from Texas,
Yeah.
which is already red except for Austin,
Yeah. Pretty much.
to Utah.
Yeah.
So,
it's not much of a change.
Not a big change. Yeah. I mean,
but I remember at one point after Obama got elected that my mom was just incensed, you know, like this guy's literally evil or something.
Yeah.
And I almost remember her saying something to that extent. And
dude.
not that she just, you know, reads emails and forwards and, you know, the stuff,
Yeah.
the literal fake news.
Yeah.
And I just can't understand because he's left. You know, it's like, well, he likes abortion, and it's like I don't think
he
that's his
likes
stance.
it.
It's not like he's like, you know what? I think everyone should abort their babies
Yeah,
immediately.
everybody should
Like
have
if
at least
I get
one.
elected, you should abort your babies. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
And that's how the right sees it, though.
Right.
It's
But there's a reason why it's called pro-choice.
Right.
I'm not. Yeah. Everybody needs to have at least one abortion in their life. And you'll get a tax break if you do. Yeah. No, but I had friends. I had a friend whose mom called him the Antichrist,
yeah.
and I said, you know, would it be that obvious? And it was, you know, Mitt Romney. Who,
Right.
You know, I was like, if anybody's the Antichrist, it's Mitt Romney. You know, it's going to be someone who we don't
Right.
we don't understand. Like, it's just going to come out of nowhere. If you know,
Yeah.
if you believe in that.
Yeah. That's yeah. And these are the same people that like Trump.
Right.
And that's another thing I have a hard time with is like, so you're going to say the guy that has a family that, as far as we know, has never cheated on his wife, has two well-educated, intelligent daughters.
Kind of self-made.
Yeah. Legitimately self-made,
Right.
not
Not a small loan of $1 million.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so this guy somehow is the Antichrist because
Right. So in one breath, you're referring to one man who, for all accounts, is honorable
yeah.
as the Antichrist, and then in the same breath, you refuse to look at the Christian values that you so deeply hold when it comes to the man who holds the office now.
Right. And
Yeah, yeah.
if anyone, like, he's done everything. Like, he's
Right.
not a great dude.
Right. Yeah. If as an American people we're going to pass judgment on the people who lead the country, right, on a personal standpoint, which brings us back to Kavanaugh, then we have to kind of play fair with everyone, right?
Right.
Like, okay, Obama was never accused, you know,
Right.
And for that matter, when we can bring this back to Kavanaugh, Merrick Garland was never accused. Of,
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know. I started a new hashtag with people that were posting right-wing memes, and I just hashtag in their comments paranoid. because that's what it's come down to. They're paranoid. They literally think the Clinton Foundation is paying Dr. Christine Ford,
right,
to level accusations. It's like, okay, that really wouldn't be that hard to figure out. This is a woman, and she has a PhD.
Right.
It wouldn't be that hard to look at her bank accounts and say, hey, you got a huge influx of money, doctor. Anyway.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, with Kavanaugh, I don't know, man. I watched the entire testimony. It was like must-see TV, 8 hours long.
I actually did. I watched a lot of it. I wasn't able to watch the whole thing, but I
was off that day.
I watched a lot, and I was surprised in how entertaining, I guess it was, if that's the right word. I don't know.
It was. I mean, and for all what the definition of the word, it
Right.
did. It sucked you in. The questioning method, the 5-minute thing was so horrible.
Yeah.
But she definitely came off as credible. She was fun. Like, I have no doubt that maybe that she's telling the truth about something. And
that's really what the heart of what I wanted to talk about is. I just don't, and I know that this is probably the norm right now for anyone that's not far right and left, is just, I don't know, like, everything seems legit on both sides for the most part. Kavanaugh seems a little sketchy, but
yeah. So,
but I don't know.
yeah. So I studied psychology in college. I'm not an expert, right?
Right.
But I did learn a little bit about like memory and trauma.
Right.
And of course, my dad was a therapist, and so I got his take on it as well. And there is very, very strong evidence that eyewitness testimony is awful.
Mm-hmm.
It is. People do not remember things correctly almost ever. But there's also evidence to support that during something very traumatic, you do remember very specific details.
Right.
And then the surrounding events you don't. So you have opposing arguments, even in the psych world, about whether or not she would be able to remember this so perfectly. Like during a trauma, you might remember the specifics of what someone looks like or their name, but you might not remember the color of the walls in the room you were in.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, plus if it was dark or whatever. I mean,
right. But as I was talking to my dad, he made a great point. He said, okay, these are both teenagers. They're both at a party. Whether or not they were both drinking. She was 15. I think he was 17.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what the drinking age was. No one even asked about that.
They did talk about it at some point. He said it was, because it would have been 18, I think.
So he was 18 then.
But I think he was underage still at that, if I remember correctly.
Which, whatever.
But,
come on, I don't care about that.
That's, yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of irrelevant.
But my dad's point was, this could have just been, you were drunk, it got out of hand, and one person's perception was, he violated me. He was violent. I thought I was going to be hurt. And his perception is, oh, we were just having a good time. And maybe,
That,
but the problem is he didn't cop to it.
Right.
And that was my dad's take, is that he says if he just would have said, yeah, we had a party that night and yeah, we went into the bedroom, but I don't remember this, like
right.
We were like making out. But anyway, that was his point. I didn't think about it that way before.
I had kind of thought that way, that was kind of, I don't know. I don't know Dr. Ford at all, obviously.
Right.
But I felt like I can read people pretty well, and to me, she seems like the kind of person that would take something. I don't know how to say this without stupid.
Like you're picking up on personality traits.
Yeah, she just seemed like that person that you knew growing up that would kind of take something small and make it big.
Okay.
To me, that's what it seemed like. And if I had a guess, my guess would either be he was blackout drunk and did it and just doesn't remember.
Right.
Or exactly like you were saying, she took it one way and he took it like he was like, what? Like I was just,
right.
I put my hand over your mouth because you were like yelling and there were people listening. Yeah. Like something
all the time.
Yeah. Well, and one of the things that I really want to talk about, or that I'm questioning, or I don't really know what to think is, I mean, he was 18 or 17,
Right.
and she was 15, and like, not that you can't be held accountable at that age, obviously, but a lot changes. Like,
Right.
you change. I am way different than I was when I was 17. Like, my politics is way different.
Yeah.
My like,
So
I
that's
am,
I've heard that from a lot of men, right?
Right.
Not specifically, but just like publicly or whatever on social media. Like, please don't open my high school yearbook.
well,
You know, and I disagreed with that. I was like, no, I didn't do anything like this.
well, and that's where I get a little shaky, because I never sexually assaulted anybody.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if this was something else, I think it might be different, I guess. And so, like, a lot of the left-leaning radio shows I listen to say things like, well, this shows his character,
Right.
his personality, or whatever. And to me, I don't know if that's necessarily the case. Like, I mean,
Okay, I see what you're saying. You know, I know what you mean. That people can grow up.
right.
It's not necessarily that people change, but they grow up. Maybe they have more inhibition.
Well, and this is a completely stupid example that has nothing to do with sexual assault, but just when we were in college in a band, not me and you, but me and the other guys, we practiced in our apartment.
Yeah.
In
I
our
remember the
3-story apartment, full volume, with no regard for our neighbors.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I remember, yeah.
And we did not have a problem with that. Looking back, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that we did that.
Dick.
You know what I mean? And I know that doesn't relate to sexual assault at all, but that's just an example of how the way you look at things changes as you get older.
Right. You become the hope is that as you grow up, you become a little more selfless.
Yeah, and
Start
more
thinking about other people.
aware
Yeah.
of your actions on other people.
Right. You know, it's not a bad point. And you're right. You know, the thing that turned me off the most regarding Kavanaugh was his opening statement, and he's gotten a lot of crap for it. You know, you saw Matt Damon on SNL. It's
Yeah, I
hilarious.
actually watched that this morning.
Oh my gosh! But yeah, it was he was openly politically biased during his opening statement.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
now I haven't watched a lot of Supreme Court justice hearings, but it seemed a little weird to me. And then it was like, I think it was 2 days ago that retired justice, what was his name? Anyway, he came out and said he was a Republican.
Uh-huh.
And he came out and said that he should be DQ'd just because of that.
Right.
Regardless of the sexual assault, because of his open bias. You know, because now they're talking like, should he have to recuse himself from heavily political arguments in the Supreme Court because he showed bias?
Yeah.
It's like, what argument goes to the Supreme Court that's not?
Right.
You know, what is he supposed
Right.
to do? So
I am honestly a little surprised that he didn't just back out at some point,
I
because
think he got a lot of pride there, you know.
I guess, like, I feel like if I was under that much scrutiny, and I would just be like,
Right. For my family's sake, for the sake of the country.
right.
I did not do this, but I don't want to, you know, to hell with you.
Yeah.
Kind of, I was surprised too.
Because, well, just mostly because, not only that, but because I feel like he's going to be tainted now, right? I mean,
Well, you know, not necessarily, because Clarence,
that's true.
I don't know, man. You know, I didn't even know that he was so I was born in 84.
Mm-hmm.
So he was confirmed in 92, 91, I think.
Sounds about right. I think it was Clinton that nominated him, if I remember right.
I think it was HW.
Well, then it would have been
he's-
90s.
Yeah, I think it was 91. Anyways, you're looking at it. But yeah, you know, I didn't even know that the Anita Hill thing happened until like last year.
Oh, I had never heard about
You know,
it.
granted, we were only, 8 years old, 7 years old.
Do you think that in the past 5 or 6, 7 years that the Supreme Court has become more not important, more relevant, more, that's not even the
powerful,
word. More publicized, maybe that's what I'm looking for.
Well, for sure. I mean, we have a news cycle now that allows that.
Yeah.
Right. That allows certain programs to talk about the Supreme Court, and they've made some pretty heavy decisions lately.
Yeah, and I don't necessarily like that.
Well, they usually keep a low profile.
Yeah.
I think if they had it their way, they wouldn't be
No,
talked about.
I know that.
There's no press allowed in the Supreme Court. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
You barely even see a picture of the Supreme Court. If you want to see, you have to Google it, and it's usually an empty chamber.
Right.
So I don't think they like it.
Right.
But people are definitely talking about it because it is more and more relevant now. They're making decisions now that do affect people's daily lives.
Right.
And then of course affect giant elections as well. Anyway,
Yeah.
That's a whole spin-off there. But yeah, I think that we're mostly on the same page with Kavanaugh. I feel like I do believe Ford. He may have been blackout drunk. He may not have done it, but he definitely made a mistake in his opening statement with how biased he was politically.
I don't think he came off.
He was so mad, dude.
Good.
Less is more, man. He just should have said, "I don't have an opening statement because I didn't do this. So whatever. Go at it. Here, what questions do you have?"
In watching, that was one thing that did, and the one thing that kind of gave me some hesitance as to the legitimacy of his story was how incredibly evasive he was of all the Democrats' questions.
Oh, he was so indignant.
It actually made me so mad. Like, yes, no, not my calendars, not.
Oh my man! I can only think of Matt Damon crying with the calendars.
I know, I know. And I mean, as exaggerated as that was of Matt, it wasn't like it was.
Right.
It was.
It was spot on.
It was pretty close to what was happening.
Usually SNL is overacted, right?
Right.
No, that was exactly how he acted.
Yeah.
He was yelling, he was crying, he was flipping his page over. He was so indignant, and I've heard that phrase now, but the right has now tacked on the word righteous in front of it, righteous indignation.
Okay.
And I'm like, is there? I know that there's a definition for it, but
Yeah.
I don't really know if there's.
That's.
I don't know if it's ever really righteous to be indignant and to ask a senator who's questioning you how much they drink, right? Anyway,
that really bugged me. Just yes or no. Like,
Right.
You don't need to get political with it. Yes, no.
right.
Why is that? If you are innocent, then what is wrong with yes or
Right.
no?
Did you drink to black? I'm sure he did, man. And no judgment. Now, I've never had a drink in my entire life, but I don't judge people who in college binge drink.
No.
Okay, I know it's dangerous, but people do it.
Yeah.
And no one would have judged him for having done it.
Didn't George Bush
Yeah, he did coke.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Didn't he
was
caught to doing cocaine and stuff?
Snorting coke while he was in the Air Force or something. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
That's and that was my biggest takeaway from his was just the evasiveness of his questions and just why not yes or no?
Yeah. Yeah, just give us
and
something.
why not do an FBI investigation? What are you worried about?
Right.
That was the only thing.
Now, why not just say yes, man? Not the stupid whatever the committee recommends.
Right. And then the whole argument, well, everybody knows the FBI doesn't make decisions. Like, well, okay.
So that answer then should be a yes.
So,
sir.
yeah. So the FBI shouldn't investigate something because, like, there was this murder, but we don't actually make decisions, so we're not going to investigate it. Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
No, for sure. I mean,
it's
everybody knows that they're a criminal investigation enterprise, just like the police department, right?
Right.
They provide evidence to a prosecutor, but yeah, it's whatever. So I mean, yeah, he's on the Supreme Court now. The Supreme Court is heavily conservative. It's the way it's going to be for a little bit. I hope that John Roberts. I have a little bit of respect for John Roberts as the Chief Justice. He's a conservative, obviously, but I think he's a smart guy.
Isn't he normally one of the swings?
No,
or is it Kennedy?
Kennedy was, but he's the one who retired to put Kavanaugh in.
That's right.
So it's almost as if this old school guy who was considered really conservative, John Roberts, is now more of a moderate, which is amazing because we have Gorsuch on there, we got Kavanaugh, who are staunch So now we have Roberts, who used to be the staunch guy. This is to your point of division.
Right.
This is where we're at now.
I do find to some extent, and this can't be said for all, but some of the older Republicans seem to be more in the know, more better.
Like more moderate.
Well, yeah. And like I like John McCain. I actually really like John McCain.
Dude, what a stud, man.
I know that he had some issues in the past, but
I actually voted for him.
Really?
I voted for him in 2008.
I like he to me seemed like a legitimate guy.
Yeah.
Like he was a legitimate leader. He actually cared about everything, at least in his last few years. Yeah.
Guy's a hero.
And I don't think there's a lot of people like that anymore.
No.
But I would kind of get the sense that maybe some of these older Republicans kind of see the same thing. Same with older Democrats. I think they're a little different too.
For sure.
I mean, you look at Bill Clinton, and gay marriage didn't get legalized when he was in office.
Right.
I mean,
and Obama was opposed to it at the beginning.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think an old school Democrat would actually be a pretty moderate president.
Right.
Like, which is why I'd probably vote for Joe Biden if he ran, because
I love Joe.
Joe's probably pretty similar to John McCain, I think.
The problem is he's old, man. How old is Joe Biden?
He's.
I mean, I saw an article that said that it was, he's 75. Yeah, that's pretty old, man. So he'll be 77.
Isn't Trump that?
Trump is 72, I think.
Okay.
Maybe. I mean, yes, they're both up there, right? But I've heard that argument both ways. Like, oh, they're too old. Trump's 72. So he would be 77, 78 if he won. I would definitely vote for Joe still. I think he's smart. I think he's still young at heart. Mm-hmm. I just think he's a good guy.
I don't know who else out there. I mean, granted, I don't.
No, we got. It's too early still. We'll see.
Definitely.
I mean, the midterms will tell, right?
Oh, I think the Democrats are going to slaughter the midterms. That's my opinion. I know that.
That's my opinion too. I think that only because Democrats are too upset.
But this is pretty much exactly what happened last time, is it not?
Yeah, it happens every 6 years.
Yeah, during Bush,
Yep.
the Republicans lost the. Yeah, so it's not like that would be a surprise.
It's usually every midterm it flips back the other way.
Right.
At least when it's a new president, because the losing side is still mad 2 years later, enough to get voters out. I mean, our voter turnout in America is abysmal, but so it's usually a base vote. Which base can win?
I was listening to I don't remember who it was now. It was a comedian I was listening to on Pandora, so it was just a random. But he said he thinks that when you get older, your vote shouldn't count anymore. And if you're a teenager and you're voting, your vote should count as 5 votes, and then slowly it goes down until you're like 90, and then you get negative vote.
Right,
whoever you vote for goes in the negative.
Yeah, look, if you don't have a driver's license, right? If you can't drive because you're so old,
right?
You're not of sound mind.
Well, that and it is true. I mean, it's kind of morbid, but the decisions that they make, we're gonna be here longer for them. Like it's
right,
and they're the ones that vote. Like they are the ones that vote.
There is not a maximum age for serving in an elected position in this country. Mm-hmm. There's a minimum. What do you got to be 35 to run for president?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, that would be awesome if a 35-year-old ran for president.
That'd be crazy.
There's no max, and so you do worry about age. But we've also had presidents who were really old who did very well. You got Roosevelt in there, and I think didn't he die in office?
Roosevelt?
Franklin.
Oh yeah. Franklin D.
Yeah, Franklin D.
Yeah, he did. He died right before World War II ended, which kind of sucks.
Yeah, it does suck. He made it all the way through it. Yeah.
He was
he might not have dropped the bomb though, man. Anyway.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I don't know. Yeah. That's good stuff. So I have a story.
Yeah.
I'm on some meds, battling some depression and such. Mm-hmm. And they're expensive, man. Yeah. I'm on one that costs $130 a month.
Really?
With insurance.
With insurance?
With insurance.
Just an antidepressant?
Yeah. It's called Trintellix. It's really new.
Oh, so
Right?
there's not a...
It's no generic. But here's what happened. I go on this medication almost 2 years ago. Okay. Because none of the other SSRIs were working very well. So the doctor's like, try this. It's new. I've seen some success with other people. I was like, great, I'll try it. So I go on it. It starts to work. You know, he kind of supplements it with some other stuff. But when he first wrote it, he wrote a 90-day prescription. Okay. So I go to CVS and they're like, this only comes in 30-day bottles from the manufacturer. Right? I'm like, okay, fine. Fill it for 30. I don't care. You know? So,
I actually just had that happen to me too.
Yeah, so they fill it for 30. Everything's fine. Everything's hunky-dory. They change the prescription on their end to 30 days. Right? I go to see the doctor every 6 months to get refills on other meds. And I changed insurance 5 months ago. All right? So I go to the doctor again, not because I changed insurance, because I needed refills.
Right.
And he asked me, do you want to do 90s? I said, no, they can't do 90s. They can't do 90 days on this med, you know? At least that's what CVS had told me before. So he's like, all right, for 30s. So I get a 30. Everything's fine. I put it on auto refill. You know, they send you the text.
Right.
I go to pick it up. One of my refills, a different med is ready. That one's not. And the girl tells me, you know, just come back. It'll be ready. So it's my fault. I've missed a couple doses.
Uh-oh.
Right? It's my fault. And you know, if you miss a couple doses on an SSRI, it makes you feel weird. Not emotionally, like physically.
Yeah.
So I miss a couple doses, and at this point, and I go there, it's like 10:30 at night. It's the night that I'm doing a sleep study
Oh, yeah.
for sleep apnea. So I'm already kind of on edge, you know. And the gal at the drive-thru says, we don't have anything ready for you. And I said, oh, well, I was expecting a Trintellix. You know, can you fill it now? What can you do? You know, she's like, oh, I do see here that we've sent your doctor multiple faxes. I'm like, okay, that doesn't mean anything to me. You know, I need the medication.
Right.
And she was so, like, just not very kind about it. And I've been in customer service my whole life, so I'm not going to be that guy. But I was like, well, what's the problem? Well, your insurance will only take 90-day supplies. Like, well, I said, no. Listen, like, I've been through this already. You guys don't have 90-day supplies. She's like, well, we'd have to give you 3 bottles. I'm like, well, you didn't do that the first time, you know? And this was on auto refill. I said, fine, look, I can take care of it. She's like, well, I'll fax your doctor again. Well, what good would that do? You've already faxed him 5 times. Clearly it's not working, you know?
Is it because he doesn't have a fax
I
machine?
have no, she's like, maybe we have the wrong number. I'm like, you didn't check that? Come on.
Maybe, like, don't send a fax.
Yeah, pick up the phone. You know, I don't even, maybe you call just to see if you have the right fax number. How about that? So I said, fine, I can handle my doctor tomorrow. It's late. But can you, because it's 24 hours by my house.
Right.
I said, can you just give me like a sample because I've missed a couple doses, you know? She just said, let me go check. She comes back 5 minutes later with a piece of paper that she had printed with my insurance company's number highlighted and handed it to me and said, you need to call your insurance company to get this worked out. And I said, well, what about the sample? Oh, we can't do that. I can't split it. I said, oh, fine. I basically I had to roll up my window because I was so mad. I didn't want to take it out on her, you know,
Yeah.
even though she was being a little mean about it. So I was like, whatever. I sent my doctor an email the next day. He emails me back kind of his nonsense. He's a great guy, but for some reason he didn't read my whole email. He's in a hurry. So I call CVS again just to see if he happened to send the refill, and I get a different pharmacist there. And I say, hey, you know, I should have a refill there. Can you look it up? And she's like, oh, I see it here. Oh, it needs to be for 90 days. I say, I understand that. You know, is there anything you can do? And I said, is there any way to take my existing refills I have left and put them together for 90 days? By the way, I asked the gal, how much is it without insurance? For 1 month, $400. So that's when I drove away.
Whoa.
So, but this pharmacist the next night, it's like, well, I can just take 2 and do a 60-day supply. And I said, wait a second. I said, can I, you know, with all due respect, how come this wasn't offered to me last night? You know, I know it wasn't you, but this is what I went through. And she basically said, I don't know. And anyway, long story short, I go pick up the pills. I tell her to apologize on my behalf to the other gal that I talked to, who I might have been kind of mean to. I said, please apologize to her. I was really stressed. Anyway, that's my CVS story. So I don't know what to tell you. 90-day supply, 30. Who cares? Just
I
give
don't
me
know.
the pills,
Yeah,
man.
that's weird. I had that same thing happen. Well, to that extent, but I went in and my doctor wrote it for 90, and my insurance would only do it for 30. So they just split it up.
Yeah.
That didn't seem to be an issue.
Yeah, she asked me, "Should you change insurance?" I'm like, "Well, like 4 months ago, 4 refills ago." Oh, well, they must have changed it. Yeah, evidently. Anyway,
Well, I mean, I guess that's the overnight pharmacist for you.
right.
I mean, they probably don't hire the best and brightest for that shift, right?
Well, she just, yeah. And maybe she was stuck, kind of a catch-22. Got this guy in my drive-through that needs his antidepressants, and I can't give him any, So,
Oh man, how was your sleep study?
it's like a little hotel room, man.
Really?
Yeah, little hotel room. I mean, they hook you up. I took a picture of myself all hooked up to all this stuff, like sensors all over your head and face,
Weird.
and then like on your legs to see if you twitch.
Oh.
And then for half the study, you have a nasal cannula that's not giving you air, that's just sensing your breathing, and it has a little hook that goes in your mouth to sense your mouth breathing too.
Oh.
And they're watching
okay.
you. I know, right? So they're sensing your breathing. They're like, look, if you show any symptoms of sleep apnea in the first half, we'll come in the second half, put a mask on you, a CPAP, and we'll try that. And they came in, put a mask on me. I don't get the results for like, I don't know, a week or something, but
So did you spend the night there?
yeah, I spent the whole night.
That's weird.
Yeah, but I got a nice sleep number bed.
But you were actually able to sleep with all that crap on you?
Yeah,
Man, I don't.
it was. I mean, it wasn't the only ones that I was worried about, because the tech warned me about them, were the leg ones. They put them on your calf.
Oh.
And she's like, if these come off, then I'll come in. She wasn't that worried about the head ones.
Oh.
So
All right.
anyway, I mean, look, it wasn't like comfortable, but I was able to sleep,
Right.
and get good results. So
And then you wore the sleep apnea machine.
yeah, I wore a mask for the last half. It
How was that?
was fine. Kind of felt weird. It's just like a constant flow of air.
Huh.
I ended up like having weird dreams because of it. Like a weird,
Like you were Darth Vader or something?
yeah,
Like-
man, scuba diving or something. Yeah. And then they came in like an hour later after they put it on and upped the pressure, just kind of messed with it. But I'm sure I'll end up with one, which is fine, because I keep Ashley up right now, snoring.
Really?
And then she gets worried because I stop breathing, which is the apnea part of it. So,
She gets worried about that, huh?
yeah, you could imagine, right? I have woke up
I
gasping.
thought she'd just be relieved because at least the snoring and stuff.
Yeah, he's silent finally. Don't wake up. Yeah. I mean, people die from it apparently.
I know. Yeah, that's that happens not all the time, but I remember a football player died a few years ago just
Yeah.
out of nowhere.
I mean, it feels like it's a relatively new thing, but like
I think
maybe people have always had it. They just now found that, we can put a mask on your face.
Yeah, I think it's just more readily tested for now,
Yeah.
probably.
But it was comfy. I was able to like roll on my side,
Mm-hmm.
I guess they got new masks that, like the first ones, you couldn't lay on your side or your stomach.
Oh, that'd be hard.
Yeah. But I see you Googling pictures. Yeah, that's what it looked like, man. I had a couple around my
business
waist
right here?
Yeah. Yeah,
Jeez.
they had put them under your eye to see if your eye twitches. In fact, they test them while you're still awake. Except for that big device that's on that guy's stomach,
Yeah.
with all of the wires going in. They hung that on the bed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
But anyway, yeah. Before they go, before you go to sleep, they're like, "Hey, will you cough? Will you move your legs? That kind of thing."
Oh, okay.
Apparently, when you have sleep apnea, your legs twitch.
Mine, I probably should go get tested for it. I just don't want to wear the mask.
Well-
but I have serious restless leg syndrome sometimes at
really?
night. Yeah.
That's a bummer.
It
dude.
keeps me up.
Ashley gets that, and it's
So
awful. Yeah, I feel bad, because there's nothing you can really do. Like you can like I've massaged her legs for her.
Yeah. It
And-
doesn't, there's nothing.
No, I mean, as soon as you stop massaging, it comes back.
Yeah.
So you have to anyway. Yeah, I'm sure that I have it. I'm happy to get a mask. But if you're gonna do it, by the way, here's another insurance story.
Oh.
They have take-home tests.
Oh, really?
I did one take-home test that was just a pulse ox on your finger, right? And they're like, if that comes back abnormal, then you'll take the real test. I guess it's the insurance's way of
okay.
weeding people out.
Right.
But once again, my insurance doesn't cover the other at-home test.
Oh, of course not.
You have to go to the place, which is going to cost me probably like $1,300.
We should talk about insurance next time.
Yeah, we need
how
to get
much
into
it makes me angry.
Yeah, it's a joke.
Although, did I? Well, let me say it for now. But just real quick, my friend, she just moved to Canada a couple months ago, and you know they have socialized medicine there essentially.
Yeah.
And they took $900 out of her paycheck.
Oh,
Those are her taxes.
That's what happens.
And I was like, I don't know if I would be okay with that. That is wow.
Do you know how much she makes?
I believe it's around 60,000.
So it's quite a bit. It's like I know it's high. It's like 45-50%.
Yeah.
But everything's free.
Yeah, which
But you know what? I don't go to the doctor that much. I get
right.
torn. I do get torn on this argument.
And that's where I am like, that's great for somebody.
Right. You like
probably not me though.
something catastrophic.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Right? You like lose a leg
Yeah.
or something. Yeah, that's great. It doesn't bankrupt you. It doesn't
Right.
put you on the street. If you have cancer, you can get the meds. You
Right.
know, it's not like that.
Right.
What's that guy's name? He's in jail now. He's like the most hated guy in America. He raised the.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name though.
You know the price of that drug hasn't come down.
EpiPen
No, it was the other one.
um
Because he didn't go to prison for that. What's his name? Let's see. I think he was like the most hated American
most hated American.
medicine. I'm just gonna put medicine.
America's top 20.
Martin
most hated
Shkreli.
comedy. Oh, okay.
Most hated man in America. BBC News article, by the way. So yeah, it was a medication for a rare disease that was really cheap. He went by Pharma Bro because he was a young guy,
right.
and he bought the rights and raised it by like 50,000% or something like that.
Right.
But he went to jail or to prison for a trading violation from the SEC, not for the med. So the med is still being charged. There he is. Oh, dude, what a douche.
I thought that did it not go down?
I don't think it did. Anyway,
Speaking of SE
5,500%. Yeah.
Federal. Wait, FEC?
It's,
SCC.
dude, it's an AIDS drug, an HIV drug. That's
That's what it was.
So messed up. Yeah, the EpiPen one, I think somebody started to make generics.
Yeah,
or
there
something,
is a generic one now.
Yeah, that was messed up too. I mean, come on. You know, you eat some peanuts and you got to pay $5,000 for a pen that costs you 10 cents to make.
Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Don't eat peanuts, I guess.
So he's, yeah. Oh, he's in jail for 7 years for defrauding investors.
Yeah. What about, how come Elon Musk then didn't get any jail time?
Because his was a tweet. This is a joke, man. Come on. He tweeted and ended up having to give up his... That was loud.
Yeah, that was my bad.
Anyway, he sent out a tweet about taking the company back private.
Right. Which sent the price of his
Right.
company skyrocketing.
Right. And they kick him out of his CEO role. Now he's still on the... What is he?
Still on the board?
He's still on the board.
No.
He's still the... What's the word? He's still the chairman.
The majority shareholder?
Yeah, he's still the chairman. He's just not the chief executive. Because on the board, the chairman and the chief get 2 votes.
Oh, okay.
So they had to, and it's only for it's like 3 years, I think.
Oh.
They have to bring in an outside guy. But yeah, dude, a tweet. Come
well,
on,
I mean,
dude.
it did send his.
Yeah, but
it was a violation.
It's all fake money.
He didn't. Did he? Did he voluntarily leave, or was that part of the
It
agreement?
was part of the agreement. Like he had to pay $20 million.
Right.
Tesla had to pay $20 million.
Right.
And then he had to forfeit his seat as the chief executive. But
I
mean,
bet-
dude,
I
our
bet-
president tweets.
Oh, I know.
Okay. I mean, whatever.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was like an internal thing. Someone ratted on him or something, because it sounded like they were trying to get rid of him anyway.
Well, dude.
Because of all his latest.
Yeah, smoking pot with Joe Rogan.
Yeah, all that crap.
Whatever, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Freaking Elon Musk, smartest guy in the world.
Really?
I
don't
arguably,
know.
I think he's a pretty smart guy.
He's probably autistic.
Probably. That's okay. Makes
No,
him
that's
smart.
why he's smart.
Was he South African?
Is he?
I think so.
Oh, I thought he was American.
Elon Musk.
I guess that shows how much I know.
Yeah, holds. He's got citizenship in South Africa, Canada, and the U.S.
Oh, wow.
Yep, he was born in Pretoria.
Pretoria?
Pretoria, South Africa.
The fictional city from Family Guy?
Right, yeah. Dude, he's worth $19.6 billion. So yeah, $20
that's
million
nothing
fine is
compared to
Bezos.
Jeff Bezos.
But at what point does it matter?
I don't know. It must matter between Bezos and Bill Gates, right? They're going back and forth all the time.
I don't know.
153.
Did you see the clip of Bill
55 million.
Gates on Ellen?
Mm-mm.
Trying to guess, you got to YouTube this, trying to guess the price of common groceries.
Hold on, let's...
It was like a can of beans. He's like, I don't know, $9.
Oh.
Yeah, they took him grocery
Oh,
shop. Oh, there it
no.
is. Yeah, you going to play it?
Yeah, let's see. It
Yeah.
should play through the... It should record on here. What is the... I don't want to watch this.
Stupid ad.
Commercial.
Good ad
All
for
right,
them.
we're going to test your knowledge of some everyday
Bill
items that you
Gates.
get at the supermarket. When's the last time that you have been at a supermarket?
Long time ago.
Okay.
He's got people
All
to
right.
do that for him.
This will
Oh,
be
yeah.
interesting. All right. If you can guess 3 out of the 5 products
by
within
drones.
$1 of each one, the
like they got
audience will get something. Okay?
Rice-A-Roni,
Yeah.
Tide.
If you get all of them, we'll pay off your children's student loans.
You can pay off my student
No
loans.
danger there.
Yeah.
He could pay off everyone's student
All
loans.
right.
He
Which
could.
is going to be
He
our
should do
prize
that
model.
now.
And here we go. There is Rice-A-Roni right there. The San Francisco treat.
Oh, I
of
want to
course.
guess.
How
Can I
much do
guess?
Yeah, dude, you
think
should pause it.
Rice-A-Roni
Yeah. Okay.
So a box of Rice-A-Roni.
I want to say that's $2.19.
Yeah, I was going to go like $1.50, $1.49.
$1.49.
Yeah,
I wonder if this is like California prices.
probably. I mean, she's in L.A., right?
Within
I
a
think
dollar.
so.
$5.
$5.
Come on, Bill.
Okay, let's
Listen to that
audience
crowd
doesn't like
gasp.
let's see. Oh, it's $1.
A dollar.
Dollar.
Whoa.
Bargain.
You were
I'll
off
take
by
five.
more.
Yeah, I know. It's a good deal. Are these Tide
right.
Pods?
Okay.
Tide Pods. You've been hearing a lot about
What?
those.
How much for a
Okay.
Tide Pod?
Well, for it's a whole thing though, right?
That's got to be $8.
at least. I was gonna say.
Detergent's expensive.
Yeah, and it's Tide, so it's name brand. I'm gonna say $12.99
Whoa. $7.99.
because it looks like the big.
Lately.
Yeah, that's one of the bigger
What do
ones.
you think?
$4.
$4.
They want me to go higher.
You went
Yeah.
too high, then you went too
Let's
low.
go with 10. $10.
All right. $19.
Oh,
gosh.
dang.
It's
Okay,
expensive
Tide,
to do
come on.
laundry.
Tide's expensive.
I'll take a half.
It's very costly. Okay, now
Jesus.
very important.
This is
to-
my best.
This is not good
choice
advertising for
chance.
Tide
Really?
Pods.
Oh, terrible.
Because you floss.
Oh, floss.
Absolutely.
Dental
Yeah.
floss, this should be 99 cents.
Yeah.
I
I'm gonna go
floss
with
as
that.
well. It's very important to keep your gums in good health. All right, that's floss.
Who
How
is
much
this
would
guy?
you say that floss
It's
is?
for
Say
DJ.
$4.
What's his name? Twitch.
Look at you.
$4. Come on.
$3.79.
What? I've never paid that much
No,
for. I guess I get it free, but from the dentist, right?
Yeah. No, dude, you get floss for like $1.
Yeah,
the name
I was gonna
brand
say.
stuff, or the.
You need to get both of these
Store
within
brand.
$1 so that they get
That's gonna
something.
be
If
hard.
not, you get to run to your
expensive.
car.
That's a big Totino's pizza roll bag.
Yeah.
That's
Totino's
gotta be
pizza rolls.
$7.99.
One bag of Totino
$5.99.
pizza rolls.
120 rolls?
Totino's. Have some tonight. Hot. From the oven.
I'll go with
He's looking at-
22.
What?
$22.
No. 15.
Lower.
8.
All right.
That's what I
let's try
said.
it. $8.
Look
$8.99.
at
I would have. That was me right there. I would have won Price is Right rules.
That's 2 in a row.
Yeah, you were under.
All right. How do you feel about this? This is
$1,
TGI
Bob.
Fridays frozen
TGI
spinach and
Fridays.
artichoke dip.
Oh, it's the
8
dip?
ounces. 8 ounces.
$2.99.
$4.59.
You know, you guys think less than $10?
Yes. Yes, we do.
Oh, Bill.
Yes, we think it's
not endearing.
Less.
Like 7?
Who said what? He said.
What did I
five,
say?
I
somebody,
think you said
$2.99?
5 or 6.
Yeah.
It's
I would go
probably
with the, maybe lower than 5.
Wow. Okay, we'll go with 4.
Yeah, go with 4. Yeah.
Nice.
66.
That's pretty close.
You know,
That was a big help.
Dang.
I think this was a backfire, though. I think that Ellen was trying to make him like this endearing American caricature.
Yeah.
And it didn't work.
I
It
don't
makes
think
him look
so.
like a douche.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But I do love Ellen. All of her. I watch her scare videos all the time.
Oh, is that what this is? Right
I don't
now?
know what that is, but she scares people all the time with like jump out of that little desk.
Right.
Anyway, what time are we at?
I think we're at an hour, actually.
All right. Well, good.
That's probably good, right?
Yeah. Well,
56 minutes.
yeah.
Wow.
Band update. I put that as a note. Once
yeah.
again, our band is Rejected Takeoff. We don't really, whatever. You can find them on find us on iTunes
And Spotify.
and Spotify
And Amazon.
and Amazon and Google.
I think.
We got 2 singles up there now. It is October 7th, 2018. We'll have another single up there maybe next week? 2 weeks?
Less, hopefully. I'm actually
Yeah.
working on the artwork and stuff. I was going to put up a teaser here. It just depends how fast he can get this back
Nice.
to me.
By the way, Spencer is just fantastic at our artwork.
I don't know about this one. I'm
You
not,
should hire him to do freelance stuff for you.
not feeling it so far. We'll see where it goes.
It's going to be a good one. But yeah, this single should be good. And then we got some other ones in the works. So, and I don't know how we're going to post this. This is our first go. But I think it was fun. It was fun talking.
Yeah.
I think we can get this up and maybe get 1 or 2 listeners. You know?
I mean, one would be great.
1 would be awesome.
We would keep doing it for one.
Yep. 1 listener who we don't know.
We can target sponsor them to get a sponsor for exactly what they want.
Yeah. And for any first time, it's everyone's first time listening. We don't have a name for this podcast yet.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll put it at the beginning.
Yeah, maybe.
So, but you got anything else?
No,
Well,
I don't think so.
Well, I'm Bryan.
I am Spencer.
We'll see you later.
See ya.